The Taoiseach defends Mary McAleese. He describes recent leaks as a dirty tricks campaign. The presidential candidate cancels a news conference in Galway and refuses to talk to the media. The foreign minister says the leaks could have done immense damage to the peace process. Good evening. The Taoiseach has defended Mary McAleese's role in the peace process, describing recent leaks as a dirty tricks campaign aimed at undermining her. He said that the documents showed that she was doing no more than assisting others in trying to bring peace to this country, and he commended her highly for her involvement.
The North is always the focus of attention at Fianna Fáil's annual Wolf Tone commemoration ceremony, but today, as the party faithful gathered to hear the Taoiseach's hopes for the peace process, the role of the party's presidential candidate in that process came under the microscope once again. Mary McAleese was there at the Bodenstown graveyard to hear a ringing endorsement of her candidacy from the Taoiseach and later from grassroots party members. But she declined to comment on the latest leaks, which quote the SDLP's Breed Rogers as saying that the Queen's University lecturer was pushing a Sinn Féin agenda. The Taoiseach was more vocal on the subject.
In relation to Mary McAleese, that is a dirty tricks campaign to undermine Mary McAleese. But I'm very proud of Mary McAleese. The role that she played in what these documents state is that she assisted in the significant position that she had as being a pro-vice-chancellorship in Queen's University in Belfast. She worked with people from the Redemptorist Peace Group. As far as I'm concerned, as the leader of Fianna Fáil and as the Taoiseach of this country, there could be no greater work that someone would be doing.
The Taoiseach added that he hoped no one in the south of Ireland would say there was anything wrong with someone working to bring about a restoration of the IRA ceasefire. But he said he believed the people who leaked these documents were trying to destroy the peace process.
It looks as if the people engaged in this will stop at nothing. They are involved in being very damaging to the peace process, and that is what their agenda seems to be, and I think that's very regrettable, and I just hope everybody realises what they're about.
Senior Foreign Affairs officials met today in Ivy House to discuss the damage to the department's reputation arising from the spate of leaks in recent days. It began last week when the Sunday Business Post received 3 memos concerning Professor Mary McAleese's attitude to Sinn Féin. They were posted anonymously, and the paper published extracts last week and the text of 2 of the memos today. This week, the Sunday Tribune received the same 3 memos, again posted anonymously but presumably from the same source. The paper published the full text of all 3 today. The third leak appears to be from another source, as it has no relevance to the presidential campaign. The Sunday Independent received extremely sensitive documents relating to Anglo-Irish relations from anonymous sources claiming to be Fianna Fáil dissidents. The paper decided not to publish the contents, a decision welcomed by the minister.
Again, paying tribute to the Sunday Independent for, whilst referring to the documents, they didn't publish some of the contents of the documents, which would have caused immense damage, knowing the contents myself, to the peace process and to this whole question of reconciliation. And from any point of view, it was really an act of cowardice on the part of this individual or individuals.
A Garda investigation into the leaks has already been set up. Interviews with people who had access to the documents are expected to begin tomorrow. The leaked material included documents from the term of office of the Rainbow Coalition and also from the time of the Fianna Fáil Labour government which preceded it. All the parties involved have strongly denied responsibility, but there appears to be a consensus that the leaks were unlikely to have come from the diplomats in Ivy House.
In Galway, within the past hour, a large number of journalists turned up at the Great Southern Hotel when Mary McAleese turned up for a rally. Our Western correspondent, Jim Fahey, was there.
Mary McAleese arrived in Galway just before 8:30 tonight and was immediately surrounded by a solid wall of supporters and party officials who attempted to prevent journalists getting close enough to her to ask her questions about the leaked documents. She walked through the crowds, refusing to acknowledge or respond to the questions.
Mary McAleese, Jim Fahey, can we ask you what is your reaction to the Foreign Affairs briefing documents which have been published?
Sorry, sir.
We're just got to the door.
Mary McAleese, can you explain why you're behaving like this tonight? Mary McAleese, Jim Fahey from RT.
Sorry, Jim.
Can you tell me what is your reaction to the documents which have been published in the newspapers today? Do you accept or reject what's been published in the newspapers today? For the 5 minutes it took her to get into the hotel, the Fianna Fáil PD candidate continued to ignore questions. The rally organisers restrained journalists on several occasions, and Fianna Fáil's Noel Dempsey claimed we were attempting to assault the presidential candidate. Mary McAleese, do you have any comment to make on today's published briefing documents?
Ladies and gentlemen.
And that was all Mary McAleese was willing to say to us at this time. Party officials say she will give a press conference after tonight's rally, which is being attended by about 600 people.
Also tonight, the Fine Gael candidate Mary Benotti declined to comment on the controversy. Mrs Benotti, who addressed a rally in Bandon in County Cork this evening, said that on Thursday week the electorate should give a clear signal that Ireland has built an open, tolerant society, at ease with itself and with the world. Earlier, a party spokesman condemned the leak of confidential information, but declined to comment on the substance of the allegations. Sinn Féin President Gerry Adams has accused Fine Gael leader John Bruton and his advisers of being involved in the politics of innuendo and McCarthyism. He was speaking about the controversy over Mary McAleese. Mr Adams said the people involved in creating and sustaining controversy around the presidential election were whipping up anti-nationalist and anti-northern feeling. He said it was absolutely reprehensible that Mr Bruton was, as he put it, leading the charge in these matters. Later, Fine Gael spokesman on foreign affairs, Gay Mitchell, said that Gerry Adams had endorsed Fianna Fáil in the last election, so he had a vested interest in digging them out of every hole into which they fall. Gardaí have released